But during that time, there was a lot of, he was slowly introducing me to barbershop. And so there was tag singing and slowly. And then we actually had a college quartet. So we did a tour over in Europe with our college chorus. And so they wanted to put together a barbershop quartet so we could go and sing a song over there. So we sang I'll Be Seeing You. It was, him and me and two other guys from our chorus at school. And
gotcha.
And that was kind of I think that was the first real song that I probably did, other than like my super small introduction in high school with like singing Light a Rose, which I actually sang tenor.
Interesting.
Yep.
Listen, basses make some of the best tenors.
Absolutely.
Too. It's crazy and it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
It is so annoying.
They have such a tool that it just it's
all of the tenors in the quartet are like, we're like, yes, we are annoyed by this as well.
Well, it's so, I mean, Christian's the same way. Christian has falsetto for days. Jeff Solano.
Well, and Christian's chest voice goes up.
Oh, he can full voice an A.
What's wrong with you? What the heck?
You can too. It's stupid. All of you basses.
It's so annoying.
Nuts. He's got more than a 3-octave full voice range.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyway, so Andrew and I were in a quartet, but I was in a quartet in college, and so I didn't feel at the time like there was room for another quartet, but I loved singing with Andrew, and we got a chance to do it with the choir, and we were singing in choir together as well. So we had lots of opportunities to sing together. And then when Da Capo was looking for a bass, we were looking at people with a lot of barbershop experience because we were already a pretty established thing. And Andrew was in my ear and literally going like, hey, so like when, like, hey, when, can you, hey, can we like at least try? I mean,
and what were you saying?
No. I was 100% saying no. But then there was a point at which, we were like, he's here. Like, we should at least try, and if it's not great, then we can just be honest. The hard part is,
he's sleeping on my front porch waiting for that.
If you ask somebody,
I guess we should.
If you like ask somebody and then have to say no,
right, and
then be around them all the time, it can be, it's uncomfortable, right?
Sure,
and Andrew and I are close friends and I don't want to mess it up. So anyway, we were like, let's just give it a try. And I was straightforward with them. I was like, we're trying this, like, let's try it. And we don't know.
Sure.
So, but we sang with him and it was a no-brainer. Yeah. He's just amazing, right? Yeah. And it was more than what we didn't know at the time was how much our voices were going to work together, just kind of like right away and have a natural element of that. Yeah. So I knew he was an incredible singer and had a great ear and a crazy range. But what I didn't know is how would he be like prepared and how would he be ready to go in the moment, and like, because that outside work is such a big part of this whole journey. Like, what do you do outside of quartet rehearsal? So, and he's amazing at that stuff. And
well, he had a really great mentor in college.
Yeah,
who inspired him to just
take 2 years.
I suppose
really
it is.
Well, and you joined only a few. It was mid-cycle, right? You joined in the middle of the cycle and then went out, and it was a finals. It was a 10th place your first year in with Da Capo. Right?
He learned 6 songs in like 4 months.
Yep.
Wow.
Cranked out 10th place.
That was one of my first official judging panels. It would have been my second official panel as a judge, as a certified judge.
Our prelims.
Was their prelims.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they walked out and Tony goes, well, and literally the top of my sheet says, I wanted this.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's cool,
we
man.
recently went back
great.
to their college, to their university just a few months ago, maybe a year ago. And the harmonizers were invited to perform there. And we went and we brought Better Together. And everywhere you walk in the music building, it's like, this is when Tony did this, and this is when Tony did that, and then it's like, what about Andrew? There's nothing. And then we walk in, and they're like, "Where's Tony? Oh, Tony's here." And then they introduce the chorus, and they're like, "The chorus, but Tony Colosimo, and he sang with Andrea Bocelli, and he blah blah blah, the Golden Child." Like, we think he's the Golden Child because of Bill Colosimo. Everywhere we go, he's like, "Oh, Tony."
Bill,
But literally, it's the Golden Child everywhere he goes. Even back in college, it's just
I believe it, man.
You're so likable.
You're just loved, man. Tony. He's like,
I don't know what to do.
I'm so uncomfortable.
This is the second time my father-in-law's come up. So when I started dating my wife,
yes,
my father-in-law, who was not at the time, Googled me.
Oh God!
oh man! Oh jeez!
I don't think I know this.
I have not heard this story.
And found videos of me singing barbershop with Last Kids Picked, which was a quartet with my dad, and I loved doing that. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Part of why I didn't sing with Andrew, because like, what do you do? Break up with your dad to sing with Andrew? Like, you don't do that.
I have known it done.
And then, yeah, but he Googled me, and then he also found out that I sang at college with Andrea Bocelli, and he was like, did you know that this guy sang with Andrea Bocelli? And so then it finally came up with Elizabeth like 2 years into our relationship, and she was like, really? Oh wow! And she acted surprised. She had known like the whole time.
That's not why I dated him. I didn't know. I had no idea that was
Amazing.
part of his resume. Well, tell us about that. What was that like? Like, what do you mean when you say you sang with Andrea Bocelli?
So the school that was Christopher Newport University, and while Andrew was there, actually his first year was when this new facility, they bought the high school that was basically on the campus, Ferguson High School in Newport News, Virginia, and they purchased the school and then gutted it and built up over top of it a modern performing arts center, like a state-of-the-art performing arts center. And there were great recital spaces and innovative black box spaces for theater stuff. And then there's this big, I mean, it's a 1,500 seat concert hall, and it's beautiful. Like it's awesome. Beautiful. And so to open it, they had Michael Crawford was the very first performance ever at it, which was so cool to see. I worked at the theater.
Yeah.
So I knew the back scene, and it was really cool. But the first like official like grand opening was they brought Andrea Bocelli over.
Oh wow.
And then the shortest version of the story I can possibly tell is that our
we're already past that.
There was a scholarship from the National Italian American Foundation to a student that was called the Andrea Bocelli Scholarship for Music, and they were giving it to an Italian American student at William and Mary and Christopher Newport, our school, which is right next to Christopher Newport, and they were like, maybe like one of our students, we're giving you kind of like a lot of money. And so they looked for an Italian American student in the music department, and they pointed at me.
Any Tonys?
Any Tony Colosimo's in here?
Tony Colosimo.
So yeah, that. And then we had a lunch with him. I told him that our choir was going to Italy.
Wow.
And he was really excited, and he was like, I would love to hear your choir. So the choir like mobilized, and we came to the dress rehearsal for the concert in the concert hall. And there's a 100-piece Virginia Symphony Orchestra and Andrea Bocelli up there doing the dress rehearsal and singing. And so we're already getting like this private concert, which is already freaking cool. And then the manager comes up and it's like, there's not enough space on the stage for all of you. And so it was super awkward.
Oh boy.
And then they were like, but can you sing something? And one of the songs from my junior recital was actually in his program. Oh. And so there was an orchestral arrangement done, ready to be done. And so they were like, can you sing this song right now? And so I just walked up on stage, and the symphony orchestra started playing. And I sang La Serenata, this tosti,
wow.
It's like the tiniest song ever.
Sure.
And I sang it, and they kind of huddled afterward, and he was like, I'm not going to sing that tomorrow night. You just sing it.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So that was the story. It was totally insane.
Wow, man.
So you performed it on the concert.
I performed it at the dress rehearsal, and then I was the person that sang it at the concert.
Jeez.
Like he didn't sing it. He just stood there, and
so you tagged him out essentially. Like, hey, Andrea, I got this one.
He bowed out. It was crazy, and the newspaper wrote it up.
This part's good.
The newspaper wrote it up, and they were like, the young Colosimo sang beautifully as Bocelli watched on.
Oh no!
And it was like,
oh no!
Oh,
Oh, that
listened,
editor
Don.
needs to get
It
fired.
was the local paper.
That's hilarious.
He listened on.
Andrea Bocelli is blind. In case anyone didn't know that.
Funny because he's blind.
For those of
That
you,
is the joke.
for anyone listening who is unaware,
Oh man.
That's
that
because
makes me
he's
think of-
blind. Right? Comedy. It's great.
jokes are always funnier when you
have to
explain them.
them.
Yeah.
They're funnier when I explain them.
That's actually mostly true.
Wow, dude. That's insane, man.